All right, it's 1:51. Sorry for the minute delay getting reconnected. So we're going to reconvene the regular meeting, and our next item of business is under unfinished business and discussion about the Regional Fire Authority. And we have a resolution prepared. It's resolution 2021-02. And I would entertain a motion to approve this resolution, and then we'll read the body of the text here.
So moved.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded. I'll read the resolution and then I will open the floor for discussion. Resolution 2021-02 is a resolution of the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 21, withdrawing from the Regional Fire Protection Service Authority Planning Committee with Whatcom County Fire District number 4. Whereas District 21 and District 4 formed an RFA planning committee pursuant to RCW 52.26.020, and whereas the planning committee has held a series of meetings for the purposes of discussing the components of a possible RFA plan to be submitted to the voters, analyzing pertinent financial information of both districts, and collaboratively discussing the future of providing fire and emergency medical services to the residents of both districts. And whereas the Board of District 21 officially recognizes the high quality work that has been accomplished by the consultants who provided services to the planning committee. And whereas the Board of District 21 has determined that while regionalization opportunities should continue to be explored for the benefit of its citizens, this is not the right time to seek voter approval for formation of an RFA. Now, therefore, be it resolved that District 21 hereby withdraws from the Planning Committee, and that the chair of the board is authorized and directed to provide the appropriate written notice to District 4 of this decision. Adopted by the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire District 21 at an open public meeting thereof this 15th day of April 2021, of which notice was given in the manner provided by law, the following commissioners being present and voting. I am going to open the floor for discussion because this is obviously a huge decision for our board. Does anyone have any brief comments, or do you want me to go first? All right, I'll go first. This has been a long process, and it's had some ups and downs and turns back and forth, and has been frustrating and seriously disappointing at times. And I'm trying to figure out where and how we got sideways here, but this is where we're at. You know, in my mind, part of the issue is the number of different people we've been dealing with in District 4. If you go back within the last couple of years, they've had, I believe, 6 different faces on their board. It's a 3-person board, and you know, they've had new commissioners be voted in, move out of the district. Another, I think, one either didn't run, and so we've had a lot of changes in faces, where we had a pretty stable group to talk with for the last 8 years anyway. And then in the last couple of years, there's been so much turnover, it's maybe hard to get everybody up to speed and understand the great relationship that we had. The other issue for me is we've got elections coming up in November. 2 of our board members are up for election, 2 of their board members are up for election, and so that can change the whole face of who we're dealing with. And do we want to commit to a new RFA board of people that we may not even know. And then there's the one big issue of a change in a employee contract that has potentially put our district into a position of an unfunded liability if the rest of our employee group were to see the type of severance package that has been inserted into that employee contract. It would be a huge financial burden to our district if we offered that to all of our current employees, and I'm not willing to take on that financial obligation at this point in time. So I look forward to talking about this RFA process, perhaps after the elections. But I just wanted to kind of read what we stand for here at North Whatcom, and this is the kind of people we hire, and these are the kind of people that we believe in. And that's trust, integrity, and accountability form the foundation of North Whatcom Fire and Rescue. Strong leadership brings forward effective teamwork, communication, and respect, which are the pillars of our organization. As our capstone, we serve with humility and value loyalty and compassion. And then I was kind of going over our commissioner handbook, and everyone who becomes a fire commissioner gets this, large volume with all the RCWs and stuff. But the very first page of this handbook talks about the 12 simple rules of commissioner effectiveness. And I hope that if people choose to run for the position of commissioner, that they read these rules and take them to heart. And they're this: respect and comply with the law, work cooperatively with other board members to govern your district, act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the office of fire commissioner, participate in establishing, maintaining, and enforcing high standards of conduct, and personally observe those standards. Manage and direct personnel only through the board. Do not attempt to unilaterally direct or manage personnel. You were not elected to run the district by yourself. Understand, respect, and uphold the district's adopted chain of command. Lead by example. Keep an open mind and don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Get proper advice when appropriate. Recognize and understand that your actions and most of your work will be in the public eye and will be scrutinized by the public. Recognize that fire protection districts are municipal corporations and often cannot be managed the same way you manage your personal business. Take advantage of the resources of the Washington State Fire Commissioners Association. So I'm hoping that if people choose to run, or the current people that are commissioners would understand those simple rules, we'd go a long ways to future cooperation. So, anyone else?
Well, if I could add, I've been part of this process, and I just want to commend Commissioner Ansel for the way he has chaired the RFA committee. And I know his heart has been in this, and it's very disappointing that this has not happened. And I guess I would emphasize that this does not mean we're never going to do this. This just means this is not the right time. And I look forward to in the future exploring this, because I really in my heart believe this is the best option for the taxpayers of the two districts. So I'm hoping that in a future time we can restart this process. And I too, I'm very disappointed that it didn't go through this time, but I understand the timing and the reasons, and it's unfortunate.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few things. I think Rich said it best. We can always go back to the drawing board. I'm sorry to the staff and the labor group. I thought this was going forward, but as you can see, we've hit some major roadblocks, and we need to back off of this. So I'm sorry to waste your time and effort, but hopefully we can go back and start this process with a new face later on down the road.
Yeah, I just you remind me of one last comment, John, that when we started this process, we made a commitment to the labor group that we weren't going to make any decisions that were going to end up costing people their jobs. And we've been very careful all along to try to make sure that's not going to happen. And I think that moving forward, we can hold on to that promise and commitment. So I just want to reassure the employees that we're going to continue to move forward with District 21 and continue to build on Chief Vanderveen's leadership and make this a place where people are really going to want to continue to work at. All right, is there anything else? If not, we have a motion to approve the resolution before us. And I will ask to maybe show a show of hands, all those in favor of approving resolution 2021-02. Any opposed? It is unanimous. Thank you for your time. And yeah, I guess the next item of business is the local 106 report. Mr. Brown, do you have any report for the board?
Thank you for allowing me to be here. I appreciate that. I know the decision you just made wasn't an easy one, and I appreciate and thank you guys for all your time. I guess, yeah, from a union standpoint, I'm disappointed that it's not going forward, but also I totally understand where you guys are coming from, and just being here for 15 years, and I know a lot of you have been here for a while and have a lot of experience. From my point of view, it is extremely disappointing to see someone like Commissioner Hanson come in and how do I say, affect something that's been in place for 10 years and that a lot of you have worked hard towards. And so, as disappointing as it is right now, I do appreciate that you are committed to the labor group, and I do look forward to hope that it will happen again soon, that we can reconvene. And again, just thank you for keeping us in mind.
All right, thank you. So our next item is new business, and I wanted to add to the agenda the topic of going out for a levy lid lift for Fire District 21. We have been able to see a lot of financial information provided by our consultants, and it's very apparent that we haven't raised taxes in 10 years. Our current rate is not high enough to sustain the current level of service, as well as the increased demand for service that we are seeing. And so I'm asking for feedback from the board to move forward with the levy lid lift. And the number that's been massaged and worked out for the RFA plan was $1.45. By statute, we can go to $1.50. And maybe, Chief, if you could enlighten us on if $1.45 would help us accomplish sort of our 6-year plan. Does that pencil out, or is it too early to even know that.
Yes, sir. Just with the time I've had and the data that we've gotten from Mr. Cushman through the RFA process and being able to kind of parse that out a little bit, it appears that $1.45 is adequate. I do not believe that we need to go to $1.50. That I believe that's too to do what we need to do to follow the ESCI report and the capital plan that we're currently trying to follow. $1.45 appears to be a reasonable number. I'd like to do some more research and whether we have a special meeting to discuss this and actually pin down the actual number. I think that would be appropriate, but yeah, $1.45 is roughly where I think we're at.
And, you know, we've got timing is all, you know, important here. I think where the RFA required us to be on the ballot in August to get our taxes and set up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Davis. If we went in November, would we still be able to affect the taxes for January of 2022?
Oh,
You're muted.
Yes, you would be.
So, you know, do we have to make that deadline of May, or can we wait November? The only, you know, the other issue that potentially could be on the ballot in November is the Birch Bay Library District vote. And then I think coming up in the future is the EMS levy. Is that next year or the following year?
Tentatively, yes, next August.
It's 2022.
August of 22.
And that would be a renewal, right? That's not a new levy, but
Yes,
it's just a renewal. So that sort of softens that burden. It's like we're not asking anybody to increase their levy amount, hopefully, but to renew it. And then again, if we're discussing, I guess we probably do need to have a special meeting to delve into this a little deeper. But my thoughts are that we would go with the lift to $1.45, but then not have the added what did you call it, Mr. Davis, where you can add a ongoing percentage increase?
Yeah, it's called the two types of levies are a single year or a multi-year. You could do a multi-year whereby you set the rate for the first year at, say, $1.45, and every year thereafter you pick an inflator. You could pick a percentage, which is what most districts do. So 3%, 4%, you know, whatever you'd like. Those are the two kinds of levy lid lifts that you can do.
So if just for the mechanics of this, let's say we set it at $1.45 or ask for $1.45, then the following year it would be limited by the 1%. Is that correct? So it's not going to go from 145 back down to $1.15 or whatever. It would go down to the limit of the 1% increase.
Well, it's going to go down if property values continue to go up, and it's going to decline proportionally to how fast property values increase.
Right. So that's something we need to talk about. So
I said that the opposite. I meant decrease. Yeah.
the levy amount goes down but that's based on the 1% growth that we're in our budget that we're restricted.
Right. So whatever dollar amount you bring in, you can go up 1%. You do the formula, and that's your levy rate for the following year.
Yeah, and I think as Mr. Cushman had planned out, you see that it drops down maybe 5 cents a year or 3 cents a year or something like that. But anyway, all right. Anyone else have any thoughts on this? Are you guys in favor of moving forward with this, or what are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, I think we should move forward with it. I mean, 145, we can get some business done and move ahead with what we were looking at the RFA process. So I'm fine with it.
Kimberly? Sorry. We have you on mute. There you are.
No, I'm in favor of it.
Scott? Fisher?
I'm in favor.
Rich, you're the seasoned guy here. We've been sitting on this levy rate for 10 years. Your thoughts?
I think that's the, one of the selling points for this. I mean, we haven't had anything like this for 10 years. We've, I think, been very financially responsible, and the time is right to move it up. There's never a right time to ask voters for a tax increase, but I think we got some legitimate reasons why this is the right time.
Yeah, I think our growth and our concurrent call volume, what were we at, like 35% or something like that?
35%. Yeah, in the 61, 63 area, we're at about 35%.
So we're running the wheels off of these rigs. So we need to get some help. So I guess to move forward with that topic, are you guys up if we have Jenny send out a request for a special meeting to discuss a levy lid lift in the near future?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do a query for that. But I think if we want to get in August, we've got to move pretty quickly here, and maybe we can get those dates nailed down. I would assume that the ballot language has to be in early May. That's what the RFA was?
May 9th, I think it is May 9th.
Yeah, first week of May.
So I'm thinking maybe we can have another discussion in the next week or so as to how quickly we'll want to move forward with this and what it would entail. I think, a lot of the groundwork is done as far as having done the financial research and knowing, what our needs are, et cetera. And that would be just getting the message out to the community for an August ballot measure, and can we be adequately prepared to do that?
Sorry, it's May 3. It's the 3rd of May is that's the
All right.
deadline. So
What kind of time frame do you need, Chief, to to have a discussion with the board?
we should probably have a special meeting before our regular meeting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That would be, I think, yeah.
I'm thinking in the next 2 weeks. Is that fair?
Absolutely, yes. In the next 2 weeks, probably before the end of this month.
Yeah.
Obviously. And yeah, I'll need to get in contact with Mr. Cushman and set up a D21 only account and get stuff working from that angle if he's willing to do that with us.
Okay. Any other new business? We've got one policy, Chief, that you were going to bring before us, or not?
You know what? I don't have it here, so I will table that.
Okay.
Yep.
And then correspondence then is the Fireline newsletter, webinars and upcoming conference, October 21, 20 through 23. That's to LALEP. Is that correct? I think, John, you and Scott had expressed an interest in attending that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kimberly, if you have an interest in that conference, let Jenny know, Rich, or anyone, if you want to go to that. So Our next board meeting is on the 20th of May. Is everyone good with that date at 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll have Jenny send out a query for the next couple weeks for the special meeting. Items for the next meeting, we still carry over the fire marshal agreement, the assistant chief process facilities, and policy and procedure review. Anyone have anything else before the board? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and we'll continue with the normal signing of documents procedure that we've been using for the past year or so. Is there a motion to adjourn? Been moved
Okay.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing a request from Jenny for a special meeting. Scott Brown, thank you for your attendance. Richard Davis, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you for your time.
All right, you guys.